It's often written off as a toy, a plinker, the gun you're supposed to outgrow. But what if I told you this might be the most practical, versatile, and essential firearm you could ever own? More useful than your 9mm and far more capable survival tool than you've ever had been led to believe, alright? So today, we're talking about why everybody should own a 22 caliber pistol.
Everybody ready? Let's do it.
Alright, so check it out. For millions of shooters, alright, millions, the humble 22 pistol was the first step into a larger world, alright? That gentle pop was our first trigger pull, a quiet introduction into a lifelong passion. 22. Somewhere down the line, we started seeing it as just that, an introduction, a stepping stone to bigger, louder, more serious guns. Honestly, that's a huge mistake if you ask me. All right? The 22 isn't a starter bike you leave behind. It's a master key. It unlocks a level of skill, preparedness, and pure fun that most powerful handguns just can't offer up the same way. They can't do it. Nothing's like a 22. It's the firearm that solves more problems for more people, more affordability than pretty much anything else in your safe. Think about it. And we're going to break down its incredible utility into three main areas: as the ultimate training tool, a shockingly capable survival companion, and the perfect ambassador for the shooting sports. All right, we're gonna make it happen some kind of way. By the end of this, you'll stop seeing the 22 as just a plinker and start seeing it as an indispensable part of any collection. Y'all gotta have a couple of 22s in your collection. So the ultimate training tool, all right? So let's get right to the biggest reason to own a 22 pistol. It's hands down the greatest training tool ever invented for becoming a better handgun shooter, all right? The reality of getting really good with the pistol is that it takes a massive amount of time, focus, and let's be real, money. So the money part. This is where the 22 doesn't just help, it changes the entire game, all right? First, the most obvious win is the price of ammo. As of right now, practice 9mm ammo can run you anywhere from 25-50 cents a shot. By contrast, you can easily find 22 LR for as little as 7 to 13 cents per round. That's not a small difference, all right? That's monumental. Think about it. It's the difference between a hesitant range trip where you're counting every round and a high volume session where you can actually focus on your skills without feeling your wallet catch fire. You can simply afford to practice more, a lot more. But it's not just the cost, all right? The 22 is the perfect instrument for mastering the fundamentals because it lacks the two things that build bad habits: recoil and noise. Admit it. Think about it. What are the most common shooter mistakes? Flinching, jerking the trigger, and slapping it, all right? All things we do because we're bracing for the kick and the blast. The 22 practically eliminates that, all right? With the gentle push and quiet report, it lets you focus with total clarity on a perfect grip, cleaner. With this gentle push and quiet report, it lets you focus with total clarity on a perfect grip.
Is that English?
A perfect grip, clean sight alignment, and a smooth, uninterrupted trigger press. It's like a driving simulator for your more powerful handguns, all right? Many companies now make 22 pistols that are identical in size and feel to their popular centerfire guns. You can get a Glock 44 that feels just like your Glock 19, a SIG P322 that mimics a P320, or a 22 version of a 1911 with the same controls as its 45 ACP big brother. So this allows for a perfect transferable muscle memory. You can run drills and practice reloads with a gun that feels exactly like your carry gun, all for a fraction of the cost and without developing a flinch. Try it out. Finally, here's a hidden benefit: malfunction practice. All right, let's be honest. Rimfire ammo is inherently less reliable than centerfire ammo. Right? With modern 22 pistols and quality ammo have improved dramatically, you're still more likely to get a jam. So instead of seeing this as a negative, think of it as a feature. Every failure to feed is a free unscripted, immediate action drill, forcing you to either clear a malfunction on the fly. What does this do? It builds critical, life-saving skill that's expensive to train for with your perfectly reliable centerfire gun. I think I made that point. Alright, if you're starting to see the light and maybe rethinking that dusty 22 in your safe, do me a favor, hit that like button. Alright, it really kind of helps the channel out, and drop a comment below with your go-to training pistol. I love to hear what you all are using out there. All right, so we're not done. We're not done. I just kind of jumped the gun, but I got some more stuff to talk about. All right. So let's shift gears from the range to real-world survival scenarios. All right. So if you had to grab one handgun and head for the woods, your first instinct would be to reach for something bigger. But the case for 22 pistol as the ultimate survival gun is strong. We're gonna try to work it in here, all right?
Well, I mean, you can try.
The whole argument boils down to a simple, brutal truth. When you're on the move, every single ounce counts, all right? So let's talk ammo weight. You can carry about 133 rounds of 22 LR for every 1 pound of weight. All right, so for that same 1 pound weight at 9mm, you're only packing about 38 rounds. So think about that. For the weight of just 100 rounds of 9mm, you can carry over 350 rounds of 22. Now that's a big difference. All right, you can throw a 500 round brick in your backpack and weigh less than 4 pounds, giving you an immense amount of utility without bogging you down. I'm trying, folks. I'm trying.
Keep trying.
But what can you actually do with it? All right, if it's a long-term survival situation, a firearm's main job isn't combat. It's putting down. It's putting food for the fire. All right, for that, the 22 pistol is king. All right, it's more than capable of effectively and humanely taking down small game like squirrels, rabbits, grouse, any other birds. You know, if you want some small game, it's a good deal. So in fact, it's often the best tool for the job. A well-placed 22 round takes the animal without destroying it. They don't destroy the meat, all right? Unlike a larger caliber or a shotgun, the quiet report also means you're less likely to spook other game in the area, all right? So just as importantly, announce your location to other people. All right, so if you pair it with a suppressor, it becomes nearly silent, all right? Which is an invaluable advantage when you need to fly under the radar. And also, it's an incredible tool for pest control, all right? If you have a survival camp, protecting your food from rats, raccoons, and other critters is absolutely vital. And the 22 is a perfect tool for the job, all right? So now we got to address the elephant in the room. Is it powerful enough? For small game, absolutely. For anything larger, it's definitely not the right tool for the job. But in a truly dire situation, when your only other option is a sharp stick, a 22 is a choice you'll be damn glad to have, all right? Its ability to gather food and the sheer volume of ammo you can carry makes it an incredibly smart choice for anyone serious about being prepared. Just, you know, it's always a good idea to have a 22 in your arsenal. All right, so the third reason the 22 pistol is so great is maybe the most important for the future of shooting. It is the ultimate ambassador, all right? We have friends or family who are nervous, intimidated, or even just playing against firearms. All right? Handing them a big, loud, hard-kicking handgun for their first time is usually a recipe for disaster. Right? It just confirms all their worst fears. All right, so now picture this instead. You take that same person out to a quiet spot. You hand them a lightweight 22 pistol, maybe with a suppressor on it. The gun doesn't kick, it barely pushes, it doesn't roar, it just makes a soft. They pull the trigger and a little hole appears in the target. They do it again, a similar spread across their face. It's not scary, it's fun. That's the magic of a 22, all right? That's the perfect gateway to the shooting world. The low recoil and minimal noise strip away the intimidation, letting a new shooter relax and just enjoy the simple satisfaction of hitting a target, all right? It turns a stressful moment into a positive, empowering one, all right? I've seen that happen time and time again. People who were once firmly anti-gun become total enthusiasts After one good afternoon with a suppressed 22, it's magic, all right? And it's not just for newbies, all right? The pure fun of plinking, who doesn't love plinking, all right? Just casually shooting at cans or steel target never gets old, does it? Talk to me. It's an affordable way to spend a day with family and friends, building a community around a shared hobby. No other gun delivers more smiles per dollar than a 22 pistol. It's a great reminder that while firearms are serious tools, shooting can and should be a blast, all right? All right, so now let's talk about some of these myths. For all the strength of 22, it's still dragged down by two major myths, all right? We need to bust right now. First, the big one, it's not powerful enough for self-defense. All right, so let's be crystal clear. A 22 is not the ideal choice for a primary defense handgun. We know that, all right? Larger calibers like 9mm or 45 deliver more energy and more effective at stopping a threat. But to write off the 22 entirely is a dangerous mistake. The idea that it's a toy is just false. Any firearm is a lethal tool, and the 22 has been used in self-defense for a long time. All right? The biggest defensive advantage is its extreme controllability. Think about it now. The near zero recoil means you can put multiple shots on target incredibly quickly and accurately. All right? So while one round of 9mm is more effective than a round of 22, 5 or 6 well-placed 22 rounds in the same amount of time can absolutely be a fight stopper, right? So for people who are sensitive to recoil due to age, injury, or just their size, 22 they can shoot confidently is infinitely better, all right, than a large gun that they're afraid of. At the end of the day, a 22 in your hand is always better than a 45 you left at home because you didn't want to shoot. So, the second myth is that 22s are unreliable. That reputation is mostly a hangover from old designs and cheap, dirty ammo. So while it's true that rimfire ignition is less reliable than centerfire by its nature, modern 22s from good manufacturers are remarkably dependable, especially with quality ammo. All right, so pistols, the Taurus, TX22, the SIG P322, the Glock 44 have proven themselves to be solid, reliable guns. All right, and like we said before, with the malfunction, when a malfunction does happen, it's a free training opportunity to practice your clearance drills. Work with me.
Keep trying.
So why should everyone own a 22 pistol? Because it's the most effective and affordable training tool. All right, it's the best one there is out there, letting you master the fundamentals of marksmanship without going broke. Because it's a light, practical, and incredibly capable survival tool that lets you carry more utility for longer. And believe it, and because it is without a doubt the single best ambassador for the shooting sports we have, offering a fun, non-intimidating way to introduce new people to this passion of ours, all right? The 22 pistol was never about being the biggest or the loudest gun in the collection. It's about being the smartest, most practical, and most versatile, all right? It's a plinker, a trainer, a hunter, a survival tool, and yes, in a pinch, a defender. It's the gun that does almost everything well with an accessibility that no other firearm can touch. It's not the gun you graduate from. It's the foundation you build everything else on. All right, so tell me, what are your reasons for owning a 22? What's your favorite model, huh? Share your experiences down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Train hard, train smart, stay free. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.